Hello everybody. How are we doing? Good evening. Happy Wednesday, the midway point of the week. We are live. We're cooking. And kicking. Not too vigorously though, my computer is under my desk. Can't kick too hard. Yes, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Day 15 of 2025 and I have painted nothing. Lol. I've painted more than that. I haven't actually updated it. Good evening, Angron, ADR Wargaming, Travis Woodside, Dahi McGibbon, Knave Zero, Thomas, Stoogie, Psycho Dice, Alan L, Yamea Langmar, Cameron, Lau Cannon, Ian D, Grey Wolf. Some call him the hipster of war. They do. Someday I will be the god of war. My beard will be as spectacular as Kratos, and I shall call everybody boy. Good evening, Josh. Did you get my email? I did get your email, Vulcan. I will get back to you very soon. Just been very busy having a blast. Sorry. I will get back to you, don't worry. I have got it. I will figure out what to do. I'll probably just send you some dollary dues. Tell me what you want. Did you tell me what you want? I saw your email. I can't remember if I read it properly. And now my brain is confused. Yeah. Email me as well, telling me what you want. And we'll figure out some way of getting you your prize. Will you be bold? Maybe. So, last couple of days, what have I been up to? It's more Astra Militarum, naturally. Why are you having fun? Is this even allowed? What do I have to do to have fun? I've been doing something I've wanted to do for a very long time, and I've been filming it as well. I will just point this out. I've been filming it too. I have been fixing the mistakes of the past that has been inspired by the Death Corps of Krieg. That is what I have been doing. So, the last couple of days... obviously last week we painted a whole lot of Krieg. We filmed all of that. The first one of those videos went up. It's already had 5,000 views. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Keep watching, keep liking, keep doing all that good stuff. It was really good. It was outperforming Fulgrim Transfigured for a while, and then I guess everyone went to bed. Here's what we've been doing. So I'm gonna show you on the top down, and I promise. Well, I did warn you on Monday that what I was going to be doing was changing up my Cadians as part of this Astra Militarum obsession that I have, and that is what I have been doing. So in the past 2 days, I have painted 20 Cadians, a Cadian command squad, a Castellan, and a heavy weapons squad. But I haven't fully painted them because what I've been doing is correcting them. So my old Cadian videos were perfectly fine and I liked them a lot, but I needed to, in my mind, I wanted to unify all of the Cadians, and I wanted to get a good block of 20 infantry and do all this kind of thing. And because of the Krieg that we painted, I came up with a really nice recipe for the green on the Krieg. So I was like, I wonder if that'll work just over the top of those old Cadians that I've been wanting to correct for a while. And lo and behold, guess what? It did. So, if we now head over here, as you can see, I have painted, in the last couple of days, 20 Cadians, a heavy weapons squad, a Castellan, and a command squad. So this is what we've been doing. We've been changing up the green. So we've changed the green to this version of the green and added a little bit of Agrax Earthshade over the fatigues, and that's it for this guy. So change the green, add a little bit of Agrax Earthshade, done. And we've done the same thing for the rest of the command squad. Same job there. And we've done this. And we've done that. There you go. I drilled a barrel. There we go. So we've done the command squad. And then our old Cadian firebrands video, which some of you may have seen in the past. I'm going to take my dressing gown off because I'm getting warm. Our old Cadian firebrands video in the past, they had that kind of lime green armor with the fetching orange piping. That needed to go. I needed to change that, so we've changed it by changing the green, adding some black over the trousers, and all that kind of thing. But it's the same colour green. Our old Cadian 8th tutorial, this one, we've changed the green. There you go. Same deal. So now, what we have is we have a bunch of stuff that is now got a much nicer green recipe. So, what you can see now is it's all coming together. It's all coming up Millhouse, as it were. So, this was part one of the Astra Militarum product. We've also done the Heavy Weapons Squad. There it is. Change the green, add some agrax. Done. So I've been filming this process, and the last thing to do in terms of finishing off this section of what will be my grand army of Astra Militarum is to do the Field Ordnance Battery. So the Field Ordnance Battery, I painted one of the I painted one of these. I painted this one for the channel back when it first came out. There it is. I've already added the Vulcan green, as you can see. What we haven't done is the agrax yet on the fatigues, and we haven't highlighted the green yet on that one. And when I painted that one, I started this one and didn't do anything else with it. So what I'm doing at the moment as part of this video is finishing this one and this to create an infantry section of Astra Militarum that consists of 20 Cadian infantry, a Cadian command squad, a Cadian Castellan, a heavy weapon squad, and a Field Ordnance Battery. Because that will match up with the Krieg, which will be 20 Krieg, a Krieg command squad, a Krieg heavy weapons squad, and the artillery team. Do you see? You see the plan? You see as it all comes together? So we just move all of them out of the way for now. So this is what we're working on at the moment. That gun, that piece there. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight, shortly. But first, I'm going to catch up with the chat. Are you preferring Cadians or Krieg so far, paint-wise? Krieg are more fun to paint, but what is so fun about this is, and you can go and find those old videos now. Those videos are all still live. What's fun about this is getting through so much volume so quickly and it being so simple and effective. The only thing that's been the difficult part of this part of the project has been the time-consuming nature of it. In that it's just been like, we've got to apply Vulcan green to 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 32 guardsmen, and then highlight 32 guardsmen's worth of armor. Do you see what I mean? It's just, it takes a little while to get there. What's your favourite Kroot skin mix? You spoiled me for choice and I can't decide. I think my favourite one was probably the one... I always like using Poxwalker. That's always a fun paint for me to use. So plus 30 to the count, or we only count for half? Oh no! We'll be adding the whole lot. I'm finishing models. That's all going on to the tally. I've done 10, 20, and I haven't touched this yet actually. So 10, 20, 3... 28, 29. 29. So that will put us on a nice and even. I need to finish that. 70 models painted, basically. And we've got these, like I said, we've got these two Field Ordnance batteries to finish off. Which will, like I said, that will give us a nice round 410 points. Oh boy. But for the Krieg, I have to wait. That's the problem. So I've got the other 10. I built them, I primed them. And I was waiting for some basing to dry earlier. So I applied some... I'll show you. Overhead. So on these guys, I applied the snakebite leather and the Cygor brown to them. So we might do a little bit more on them as well in this stream. It depends on how much... depends on how much we get through today. Because essentially for this, because I'm following my own tutorial, I've just picked up the paints that I needed in order to get them together. So I know that what's left is, for highlights, it's Strachan Green and Dawnstone, Ironbreaker and War Flesh, Corax White, we need Screaming Skull and Steel Legion Drab, and I think we need Flayed One Flesh as well. Yes. But in terms of getting them battle ready, I need Iron Warriors, Militarum Green, Nullnoil, and Agrax Earthshade. So I've got my steps laid out. I know what I need to do. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 things for the Field Ordnance batteries, which is just so good. And then, like I said, depending on time, we might paint some Krieg as well. Or I can just paint some Krieg instead, if that's what you would prefer. We can do that. I don't mind. What do you want, chat? Should I paint Field Ordnance? Or should I paint Krieg? I'm not filming it because I've done the Krieg bit, but I am filming the Field Ordnance battery. So that's your choice. 70 models in half a month means you're on target to paint 1,680 models this year. No pressure then. It's not happening, Grey Wolf. It's not happening. Because after this, I'm stopping. Not forever. I'm stopping on the guard front. My target for the year is still 500 models. It's not changed. It's still 500 models. And we're only in January, so we've no idea what the future holds. After this, there are hundreds of Aspect Warriors ready to be painted. News on that front, Johnny Brainstorm. A unit of Guardians is now finally on its way to me. So we'll be doing those Craft World schemes for you as well. It'll easily be 500 models by May. I don't think it will. I know that I could do it. We're on 70 there. I've got 10 Krieg painted, primed and ready to go, which will put me on 80. I've got these two, which will put me on 82. I've got the Baneblade, which will be 83. I also primed my 10 Kassakin finally, which will put me on 93. And then I'd have to find 7 more models to put me to 100, but it's not going to happen. I'm just having a lot of fun at the moment, and to be fair, whilst they do count, because we've done enough work on them to count, at least 30 of those 70 models are what's it called? It's a reskinning of them, basically. It's touch-ups. It's all that kind of thing. Are Kassakin Cadia only, or do other regiments use them as well? Kassakin are technically Cadian only. They are the elite of Cadians. But similar versions would exist elsewhere. It depends on how elite they are. Militarum Tempestus technically were the thing that became just the elite generic regiment across the galaxy when Kassakin went away from the model range, and then it came back. Hopefully you do Baletown with green bodies and white heads, but I thought they were white bodies with green heads, Marley. I'm not going to do Baletown wrong. If I get it wrong, people yell at me. I don't like being yelled at. What a difference it makes painting models you like and want to use, right? Cough, clan rats, claw, cough. You are exactly correct. But thank you so much for joining us today. You're seeing a very joyful hipster today, because I'm enjoying myself immensely. I need you to answer my question though, chat. What do you want to see? Do I paint the Field Ordnance Battery and film it live with all of you, or do I paint Krieg? Which one would you prefer? Yes. And as always, please guys, if you could leave a like on the stream, that would be really, really nice. That would be very kind of you, because that's a free way to support the channel. That doesn't cost you anything. And when you like the stream, it means more people find the stream, and they find me, and they subscribe, hopefully. And we grow this wonderful, amazing community that we have here, you know? Because you guys are all my friends. Maybe you want to make more friends. So if you leave a like on the stream, that would be perfect. And we're on 50 likes already. Incredible work. But can we get to 100 on the day? So we've got chill Krieg time. Krieg. Plastic Vostroyan Firstborn would be great. Hopefully they keep filling in AM throughout the next 2 years. I think they will. I think we could conceivably see a new regiment every edition. But if I had to guess, the next one will be Cadian, because Cadian survived the cull in the Codex, because the Codex lost the infantry squads, which was supposed to be there to, you know, let you field any of the other miniatures that they have. Field Ordnance, Krieg, got more votes for Krieg. Do you like any other regiments? Yeah, I mean, I love them all. My favorite regiment that I've ever seen is the Mordian. I love the Mordian because they're just in, you know, they're in their dress uniforms, which is you know, I loved that. There's something very, very different. But Valhallans are great. Steel Legion, amazing. Cadian, I think a new updated Cadian set of miniatures will look incredible from Games Workshop, and I don't know why they haven't done it, because I feel like it's licensed for them to print money, basically. And Vostroyan's Firstborn, they're just so good. There's so much, like, I love the kind of the vibe of the Vostroyan, that they are the firstborn sons of the noble families on the planet and all this kind of thing. I really like that. I wonder if they'll ever do Praetorians again. They feel a little problematic with their historical base. I mean, some of it does, right? Like the Talon. Talon can be done, but they need to be just made a little bit more culturally sensitive, as it were. Saying Krieg, Field Ordnance. Okay, well, we'll do a little bit of both, shall we? How's that? How's that for a compromise? What we'll do is we'll do the next two colours on my 5 Krieg, and then we'll paint some of the Field Ordnance Battery. How's that for a compromise? So the state of play for these, as it were, at the moment, is that we've done the Sigil Brown, and we've done the Snakebite Leather. So the next colour to go on is Agrax Earthshade. For the putties, which the lovely commenters reminded me is what they're called, and we apply this over the gas masks as well. Just like that. Nice and simple. Use it. It's a little bit too much Agrax. go. One down. Here we go. Wait, hang on. Oh, yeah, I forgot something. I'm supposed to do the bed rolls as well. Hilarious. So now we just need to revisit this guy. Get his bedroll done. Like so. Love it. Can you quantify why you are excited to paint 40 guardsmen but will never paint another rat? I can, because the rats are fiddly and irritating, and the guardsmen are not. I also just, you know, I love Skaven, but I've never wanted a Skaven army, as it were. I've never been interested in them. So, painting 40 troops that are fiddly and tiny for an army you don't necessarily care about is draining. And the other part of it as well is the reason why I don't want to ever paint another clan rat is because they're all, you have to think about placing your colours and making it so that it doesn't just all look like one big uniform piece of it's not all the same rat over and over again. Whereas for something like Astra Militarum, they're all, you know, they were wearing the same uniform, so it becomes more methodical and mechanical. You know, I'm always going to be applying steel snakebite leather over the top of their coat, and I'm always going to be, you know, I then don't have to think about what colour's going to go next to the coat that's not going to get completely lost in translation when it comes to pulling off a model that actually looks good. Because if you, so for example, and this is great, this is a really good piece of advice, if you go, right, we're going to paint Eshin clan rats, okay, so we've got black robes with what, dark brown. So we're gonna do like a black top robe. Are they all gonna have the same black top robe? They're not all wearing the same. Like, 'cause that's the other thing as well, is they're not all uniformly dressed at all. So like all of the Krieg are wearing the same armor in the same places, and the Cadians are all wearing the same armor in the same places, and the clan rats aren't. Some of them have got a robe, some of them haven't. Some of them are half naked, some of them aren't. Some of them have a furry body, some of them don't. Some of them have armor, some of them don't. And it's a unit of 20 before you can do anything with them. Right? So with Astra Militarum, it's 10. You paint 10 models and you've got a unit that can be used. With clan rats, you have to paint 20 models that look good. Because I want to look at my, like, because you could say, well, you can just like rush paint them, but that's not the vibe we go for around here, is it? I don't rush paint and all of my models, because I like my armies to look good, basically. I have a certain standard that I have for my own models, and consequently a standard that gets put on YouTube. What I'm not going to do is blast 3 colours over the top of some miniatures to have them done, so that when you then see me at an event and I'm playing with my Skaven army, you go, his models actually look really, really crap in person because he doesn't do anything to them. Do you know what I mean? Are you doing an LVO preview watch-along, although it's not very civilized time for you? I wasn't going to initially, but I figure it's a tradition round here, so yes, I am going to be doing it. We'll go live a little bit earlier as well. So we'll go live at maybe 4 a.m. or something, UK time. And do a little bit more, probably a little bit more of this sort of thing, to be honest. But thankfully, that's tomorrow. So we don't have to worry about that right now. There we go. Colour number 1 done on the Krieg. I found AOS harder to paint lots of at once because every model has personality, but it looks great when it's done, but kills you on getting there. Well, that's the other side of it as well, isn't it? Because, as an example, again, so with 40k miniatures, generally, it's, like I said, units of 10, and they're all broadly similar. There's nothing really standing out from them. Very occasionally, in something like a kill team, there will be something different. So something like the Tempestus Aquilons, it's 10 guys that are all broadly the same, plus that drone. But they're all pretty much the same model, just posed differently, and maybe armed with a slightly different gun. But the only thing that's different, really, about them is whether or not you gave them a non-helmeted head, which you had the choice in, and whether or not they have a plasma carbine or a melter carbine or they have a close combat weapon. That's the only thing that changes, other than the angles at which you're painting them. So broadly, your one colour scheme will work across 10 miniatures, and then you need a second colour scheme which will take roots from the first to paint the drone. So AOS have good models, so they are harder to paint. Yeah, there is a degree of that. But also that it's much harder to have a singular military outfit in a fantasy setting. Right? Especially when, depending on the faction that you're looking at. So something like Steel Helms, they're pretty uniform, but there is a little bit of variation here and there. They're fairly easy to get through, because again, unit of 10, and they're all kind of, you know, they're all built much a muchness. So you know that you're going to have a face, and they have a shield, and they have a hand weapon. The hand weapons sort of vary a little bit, but mostly it's swords and the occasional sort of bludgeoning thing. Whereas something like clan rats, they're not all the same at all. There's no, in a unit of 20, none of them are the same. They're all very different. And so that's what I mean. That's what I mean is some of them have got 4 layers of cloth and some of them have got 2. But you can't paint all the cloth the same colour. Because then it just looks too... It doesn't fit with the vibe, as it were. Did you ever try brushes from Artis Opus? I do indeed. I use a Series S in every single video. Hello, I just started participating in the seasonal activity of Tale of Four Warlords that you organise. It is so cool. Could you explain a bit more how it works and specificities? Yeah, I mean, so on a monthly basis, you send me no more than 1 picture of up to 3 units that you painted in that month that vaguely match the theme that we vote for during the streams, and I put them in a pack, and then the following month we look at the pictures and we tell you what a good job you've done, basically. Just finished 20 more clan rats, bringing my total from this time last year to 120. Got back into the hobby in Jan and have painted over 5,000 points. I like the differences. Is relaxing for me to paint. But that's perfect for you then, Mini Moomin. I'm glad. Is that S00 from Artis Opus? Yes, it is. Yeah. Every video has it where I do line highlighting. I use one of these. Hello, Pritters. What are your thoughts on beans, bell peppers, and mushrooms? Well, if you'd like to find out the thoughts of those, Travis, check out the stream from Monday where I talked about those extensively. I'm not repeating myself. When you're layering the Steel Legion drab over the coats, how do you decide how close to the edges to layer the paint? I feel like I'm not really understanding the process of it. I can do one for you now, if you like. Essentially, you look at... The best way to explain it is... Look at the model, right? So... The thing we're looking for is the dark bit, which is that bit there. You see that? So we want to apply the Steel Legion drab over all of that area and around there. And it doesn't matter about getting it like super up close and up tight to the edge, because we're then going to edge highlight it with Karak stone anyway. So you see on the back here, same thing. But then, like the other part of it as well, if you're using the Steel Legion drab as the layer, if that's a little bit blobby there. So what I can do is I can just apply the Steel Legion drab over that to just kind of make that feel a little bit straighter, as it were. So I'll show you what I mean. It's risky doing this now because there's the rest of the model to paint. So I hope you know that you might be causing me an issue here, Cameron. So this is some thinned down Steel Legion drab. So here we go. So the easiest way to explain it, right, is I'll use this brush as well. We want to apply the Steel Legion drab over this section here, like that, avoiding where our snakebite leather has left behind its darker pigment. Like that. Basically. And then within, like, for example, in here, like that. So that gives you a coat that looks thusly. And then, like I was speaking about on the back, we have this little section here. That bit looks fine to me, so we'll just go in and we'll apply the Steel Legion drab like that. And then we're going to bring it down here. Like so. And like that. And then on the back of this section here, like I said, we can look at that and think, oh, that's a little bit thick. So what we can do is we can just bring this down like so. Just want to kind of avoid those little tears in the coat. And then we just want to, like that, make it straight and make it straight as well. There we go. And I actually got some of that Steel Legion drab in this little hole in the coat, so I'm just going to wash the brush and then just go in there with a clean brush and just poke it off. Basically like that. There we go. And that's the bottom half of a coat fully done. And like I said, you'll see there's a little bit of a discoloration right there along that edge, but that's okay because we're gonna apply Karak stone over that anyway later on when it comes to the edge highlight. to finish the coat off, and then we just got this arm to do as well. So we'll just quickly do that. Okay. So that's how it works. So you're avoiding the lightest and darkest area of the snakebite leather. Basically, yeah. Essentially, you're putting shadows in the folds. Yeah, so, like, think of it like the way that you would see somebody do it with a classic way is they would paint Steel Legion drab all over, and they would do 2 layers of that to get a nice strong coat, and then they would use a shade, and if they were trying to move it so that they were very specifically targeting the shade, they would be recess shading it into those areas, do a little bit of correction, and then a highlight over the top. What I do is I do the contrast paint first to give me my shadows, because the contrast paint will do the main colour and the shading all at first, and basically just maps out where the recesses in the coat are first. And then I'm putting the Steel Legion drab over the top, because that's what's going to be the final colour anyway. And because Steel Legion drab just takes all of the warmth out of snakebite leather, but the shadows of snakebite leather are perfect for a shaded Steel Legion drab. That's basically the methodology behind that. Because what I want the final colour to be is Steel Legion drab, but I'm not going to start with Steel Legion in order to have to use it 3 or 4 times to get it to be that final colour. I just want to use it once. So snakebite leather is basically the shaded version of what my Steel Legion drab would look like if I put Steel Legion drab on first and then shaded it, and then relayered it, basically, and that's the methodology behind it. I hope that kind of cleared it up a little bit. Most fun in ages painting a client's nids. Ugh. Tyranids. I don't like painting Tyranids. It's really boring. So damn tired of salamander marines, and I'm on like 600 of them. That's a lot of salamanders. I tip my hat to you, Leon. How's your army men doing? I painted a lot of army men, Black Hole Eyes. A lot of army men. I'm enjoying it immensely. Guys, you've absolutely kicked ass so far. We're on 88 likes on the stream. We're 12 away from 100. We're also 15 members away from 500. I'm just saying, 15. There's 116 people watching. If everyone gifted one, we'd get there. In fact, there's 115 people watching. If everyone gifted one, we would be on 600. Are you going to put decals on the Krieg? I will, once I get a decent transfer sheet. I want to get the one from the army set, but my one was busted. It didn't work. It looked horrible, as I sort of showed in the video. So eventually we will get on and put a regimental icon on it. James Matthias with 20 gifted Warhipster memberships. He just immediately throws it out there. You absolute bloody legend. Thank you so much, James. Got a large Heresy Legion I started 8 years ago. Been sculpting all the cloaks and green stuff, etc. What annoys me of them is all the hand-painted flames. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot. It's a lot to do. I enjoyed it. I enjoy doing something like hand-painted flames on like 5 miniatures, and then I like to have a break for a while and do it again. 100, smashed it. Yeah, you've done it. 100 likes on the stream. That's incredible. Absolute bloody legends. James the absolute hero. James is a hero. James is the hero that we need and the one that we deserve. To paraphrase Jim Gordon. Okay. I might do the next really irritating bit, which is to paint a lot of silver. Do I do that? Oh no, I've got a really easy bit to do on the Field Ordnance Battery. Like I said, we'll do bits and pieces here and there to appease everyone. So I need to mute the music just for a moment. So we'll go over here and we'll just tidy up the screen a little bit so it doesn't look like a total mess like it usually does. Move that out of the way. Move that out of the way. Move you out of the way. Perfect. Okay, so next bit is this. So with that all done, our next colour is to take some Militarum green, and we're going to apply this over the top of the crate. There we go. Art munitions crates often a pale yellow like birchwood. Yeah. Not in my army, they're green. New members goal if you're 555. You want me to put it to 555 there, Cameron? We can do that. We could... Oh, no, hang on. We can do that. There we go. Hipster. I wanted to pick your brain on the new Krieg heavy weapons team. The Heavy Flamer's coat is this really nice shade of browny purple. Any mixes or specific paints you'd recommend? Is this the... This is the one that's in the codex, isn't it? Where there's an alternative paint scheme for them. Are you talking about... Where are you? Pictures, pictures, pictures. Yeah. So, that one there. I can't really get a decent angle on it. There we go. This one down here. Yeah. Oh. I think, judging by looking at it, the simplest way of getting that done will be to that's Baraknar Burgundy, basically. So I think your best bet there is just to paint it with Baraknar Burgundy and highlight it with maybe Demonette Hide. I think would be what I would do. I found that as I've gotten older, I've got more interest in the Astra Militarum, something about the normal person surviving in an uncaring galaxy. Is there any real-world significance? Yeah, that's kind of it, really. It's they're not the heroes of the piece, but if you think about the setting of Warhammer 40,000 in general, and you then think about what what a guardsman is. A guardsman is just a bloke. Or a lady, and it's just a person with nothing other than their trusty rifle. Did Scarbrand make his way into the glass case of awesomeness? Yeah, Scarbrand's in there. He's there. That's him. Just there. Vashtor's there as well. You can't see him because of the microphone. And me. Hi. I'm the streamer. Baraknar Burgundy, shade twice with Nuln Oil, then highlight with more Baraknar. I wouldn't even do it that much. I would do... Baraknar Burgundy is dark enough that you probably only need to do 2 layers. If you do it over bright, like Grey Seer, for example, if you prime your model with Grey Seer, you probably just need to do 2 layers of Baraknar Burgundy and then just highlight it with Demonette Hide. Because the Baraknar Burgundy will provide the shadow. Shading it might just make it too dark, and then you'll have to relayer it with Baraknar Burgundy. That would be the cheap way of doing it, basically, would be what I would say. With a final highlight of Slaanesh Grey. Yeah, you could do that. Or you could add a little bit of warmth in there and go for something like just adding a tiny amount of Cadian flesh tone here or there. That would also work. The next thing to do on this Field Ordnance Battery is to paint a lot of silver. Basically. I'm not sure if I have enough steam to do that on stream. I should though, really, shouldn't I? Because if I don't have steam to do it now, I will never have the steam. And we're all about steam. You gotta get the steam. Let's do it. Let's go for it. Should only take like half an hour. Pretty certain it's just... Yeah. Okay. Right. Are you ready? And so with that all done, we're now going to take some thinned down iron warriors and we're going to apply this over top of all of our remaining details. Now it might take a couple of thin coats, for example here on the cannon, because it's a large area, but if it does, that's okay. When you talk like that, I have to check if I have another tab open. I understand that, Lord Billy. I have a tutorial voice. I'm going to be kind of referring to this one a lot, so I'm just going to kind of paint in comfort and also talk to you guys. Hey man, I want to let you know you made me a better painter by watching your tutorials. Just wanted you to know to keep it up. Got my flesh eaters spearhead painted. My friends were impressed. That's awesome, Patrick. Oh, I love that. Also, great choice. Flesh eater court spearhead. Excellent decision. I was moaning at Adam last night saying, why doesn't everybody play Flesh Eater Courts? And he was very sensible and told me why. I was like, why doesn't everyone think they're like the super busted faction in the game? Because I think they're really strong. And that's because the 2 games I've played with them, I've been like, oh, this is way too powerful. Why? I feel like I'm playing the game with a nuclear weapon. I feel like, yeah, I'm using a weapon of mass destruction here in the form of Usharan. Yeah, there we go. I'm painting the FEC right now, the Marrow Scroll. So when the Marrow Scroll Herald came out, Games Workshop were very kind and did send me him. And I was like, oh, I'm going to paint this and I'm going to really enjoy it. And I did really enjoy it. And I thought, there we go. But unfortunately, the Flesh Eater Court's range at the time wasn't fleshed out yet, for lack of a better term. And I was like, oh, you know, my dream of doing this, doing my Flesh Eater Court's army has to wait a little while longer. And then, of course, didn't have to wait that long until the rest of it all started to drop. And then I ended up choosing to do Morgaunt anyway. And then changing my mind halfway through doing the other one. Thingy. Hollow Morn. And then Age of Sigmar got rid of sub-factions. And there was much rejoicing. Well, not from me. I love sub-factions. I really enjoy... Especially when it's something that I really like. So, like, Blood Angels are a great example. But, like... I'm gonna paint a bunch of Harakoni Warhawks. And it would be nice if I had a set of rules that specifically reflected the Harakoni Warhawks, but that's not the way things are anymore. And I completely understand why, but I lament it. I miss the possibility that something makes, you know, the Cadian 8th feel different to the Cadian 92nd. As an example. Oh, I did do that. Okay. What would you suggest as an alternative colour scheme for Flesh Eater Courts? I did 5. I did an Express colour one. I did Morgaunt, Blister Skin, Gristle Gore, and Hollow Morn. And you can see all of those on the channel. I don't know what I would do differently to all of that. Personally. It's a little difficult with the Flesh Eater Courts because, you know, they're mostly naked. So really it's a case of what colour do you want your people to be. I think it's Blister Skin are slightly different. No, not Blister Skin. Gristlegore are slightly different in that they're blue. I'm not sure why they're blue. It's probably something to do with the delusion. It turns their skin blue. Is what they probably would have said a long time ago, back when that sort of thing mattered. So really, you could do whatever you like with them. Red would work. Like if you went for a really kind of angry, sore-looking red. Sort of demonette skin as well, that would also work. That would be another way of doing it. That would look quite cool as well. It would look like a Slanesh army, though. What is your favourite FEC colour scheme you've done? For me, it's Morgaunt. I like the pale skin that blends into the red of the hands and the feet. It looks proper... for me, it's like the most ghoulish looking one. Other than maybe Blister Skin. Blister Skin looks cool as well. It's the idea that their iteration of the curse causes them to be eternally sore. And it blisters their skin, funnily enough. So that gives you like this kind of really angry sort of blistered, for lack of a better word, sore kind of top part of the skin is what they recommend. You can do it anywhere, but they do it across the top of the shoulders and the arms. Yeah, it's just the hinge. Good evening, Mini Painting Dad. When are we getting a Painting Eyes in-depth 30-minute guide? I don't know how you'd spend 30 minutes painting eyes. Unless it's like, I spent 30 minutes painting eyes because I kept getting it wrong and had to recorrect it and do it again. Maybe that would work. I do all of my eyes pretty much exactly the same way. I colour the eye in with the colour that I want the pupil to be. And then paint the white of the eye in by putting a dot in the corner of each eye. That's how I do it. I found that immeasurably easier than trying to paint the pupil in. I also found it was an easier way of getting perspective. So like you can... If something's looking that way, you can just put one dot of white in this eye. Well, Screaming Skull in my case. You can put a dot there, because the black's filling up that area. Same the other way. I feel like everybody has a method of doing eyes, and there's no consensus on an easiest way of doing it, because it's all difficult. Because some people will tell you to do them, turn the model upside down. Other people will say paint the white in, paint the eye white and then put the pupil in. Other people's will say don't do it at all. And to be fair, like on my MESBG videos, because the eyes are so small, I don't bother putting in the Screaming Skull for the whites of the eyes, because often it doesn't need it. I just fill the pupil with Black Legion, and then to me it's good enough. It's done. You know, I try to make my tutorials in such a way where they're supposed to be helpful, not showing off. Though sometimes they may look a little bit like I'm showing off. The showing off is for the live streams, you know. When I'm live with all of you. Okay. Just when I tell myself that I'm having hobby burnout, a new video from the Warhipster changes my mind and makes me productive. Thanks for all your effort and hard work. You're very welcome, Mr. C-Note. I'm glad I can inspire you. That makes me happy. Like I said before, I mean the whole point of what I'm trying to do is not to, you know, not to do anything other than just try and help you guys enjoy painting miniatures as much as I enjoy painting miniatures. And right now, like, I'm having so much fun painting Guard. I think it's because I'm not starting from scratch as well here, and I've got a plan, and I've got a lot to do, and I'm able to just kind of sit down and do it. Because we're on a bit of a quiet week this week, you see. I haven't got anything. I haven't got anything new from Games Workshop to work on. So I thought, hey, I'll do something. I'll do something that will make me happy. And of course, I really enjoyed painting the Krieg last week. So I'm just like, I'm going to do more of this. And you know, I want to get a, you know, as we've talked about, I just want to have a, I want to have a Guard army again. Just want to have one that I can be really proud of as well. That I can maybe take to an event or two this year. Because it would be really fun to go to a Warhammer event. I didn't go. I don't think I went to a single one last year, which was quite sad in a way because I miss going to tournaments. I must have gone to one. I'm pretty sure I went to one. I don't know now. Second guessing myself. I thought about maybe trying to go to something like Nova this year, but I suspect that will all happen right in the middle of when we're trying to move. So we'll have to see. But that would be really fun. You got to come down and stomp us at AOS sometime. I do. Have you said what the outcome of the Tales theme vote was? Are we painting something old or something new? Both, Pritters. You can do either or, because it was a dead heat. Basically, Discord voted for something old, and YouTube voted for something new. So it's basically a case of, when I totted up the votes, the maths told me that it was a dead heat. So it was like, okay, cool. Well, you get both then. So it doesn't matter. Paint whatever you want. Basically. Have you ever played on Liam's show before? I have. I played Age of Sigmar with Liam and Joe. We did a couple of streams last year before AOS 4 came out. The best thing to do would be to do some old Rohan warriors and some new ones. Well, I mean, if you wanted to get some Rohan warriors done, that would be a pretty good way of doing it. Though I do warn you, the new ones you will prefer to the old ones. Just in terms of how they look once they're painted. And I don't mean that in the sense that, like, they're bad models by any stretch of the imagination. It's just that the new ones, all of the components on the new ones are just so smooth. So, like, you can apply the green in the video that I did over the top really easily to the new ones, but to the older ones, because there's just all these kind of like hidden recesses because they're not very well sculpted. You'll just be like, why is there so many dark patches? Where are these dark patches coming from? But don't worry, it's nothing to do with you. It's to do with the way that the model was designed. My foot has gone to sleep. And I should really adjust how I'm sitting. But I simply must finish all this silver first. Sitting comfortably will be my treat. I did ask Joe the other day if I can paint up an Astra Militarum army. Can I come down and play him at guard versus guard, like with as gentlemen should? And he said yes, because Joe and I are in agreement that all games of 40k should just be guard versus guard. Everything's toughness 3. What is he painting? I'm putting silver on a Field Ordnance Battery. But I'm sitting back to do it because I have to protect my I have to protect my back, basically. But just know that I'm applying a lot of Iron Warriors. Perhaps unnecessary, to a lot of tiny details. Oh, it's got a foldable stock. Right, that's what that is. That makes sense. So what's this little piece here? There we go. Oh no, missed a bit. Don't want to miss a bit, Josh. The people will be mean if you do. Just add a little bit more to that barrel. Just ensure that it's a nice strong silver. There we go. Done. Ah. Ah. Ow, 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 ow. There we go. Any rough timelines on you and Alice moving? Still house hunting? We haven't really started the house hunting part yet. What we need to do is basically we need to wait until sort of April, May before we start doing it in earnest. That'll be when we go. But once I know more, I suspect what you'll see happen. Obviously, I'll keep you guys in the loop as to what we're doing, because when we move, there will probably be a week or two where there is no content because I'll be moving, and obviously I can't film anything whilst we're doing that. So you will be warned with due warning. But we don't know exactly when, and we don't know exactly where we're going yet. But we're aiming to do something sort of May, June. Well, kick things off May, June. As to where we go, we don't 100% know yet. We're narrowing it down slowly but surely. But we will figure it out. But I'm really excited because there are so many problems with the current room that I'm in. It would be nice to be able to just put together a really cool studio, you know? Maybe a weird question. How is you set up to prevent back and neck pain? Ah, easy. So basically, I'm set up in I'm set up to prevent back and neck pain because I have a terrible working environment. Okay, so overhead, right? The desk's real estate that I have to paint on is not very big at all. So I can tell you, in order to basically have this, so I'm in an L-shaped room, okay, and it's a really bad L-shaped room because it's an L-shaped room in a loft, which means I have a ceiling right here. I'm touching the roof because it's the sloped roof, right? So because of that, I'm in the L, and it's a very small L, right? My desk is currently 20 inches wide because it's the only thing that fits here in an L, so that I can have my computer on here because there's not enough room to have the computer along the back wall and be able to see anything, right? So I have a monitor here on my left. That's the wall there. I can touch the wall like that, and then the other wall's here. So it's not a very big space at all. So the reason why I'm set up to protect my my neck and back is I am not like this over the desk because I can't. So you see here, That's the filming real estate I have. 9 inches. 10 inches, basically. Total. And my arm is longer than that. So I don't paint over the desk like this all day. Because I can't. Because it would be uncomfortable. So what I do is I do my filming like that. And I will film under the camera. Here. So, like that. I film under the camera, blah, 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 blah. And then I lean back. And I sit back like this. So this is the advantage to this alcove. Is because it's a small area, my 2 lights, so there's one up here and one up here, the light just fills the area. So I can sit back here and I can paint and it's still really bright. So I don't have a narrow strip light here, for example, where the light is. So the area's filled. So I can move and I can adjust and I can stretch and I can do all of that thing. And I'm all good. The legend is streaming again. Well, thank you very much, ABB. I wouldn't consider myself legendary. Do you use studio lights? I do. I have these large panel lights from Niwa, basically. I have one up here, and there's one up there. So when we move, what I would like to do is I would like to put in a... What I would like to do is I would like to change my filming setup to be a big old 6x4 table. And the reason why I want it to be a big old 6x4 table is so that I can mount a load of lights and a couple of cameras, and I can do things like have pallet cam going, and I can have face cam, and I can have overhead cam. But then what we can also do is I would want to be able to just take out the middle insert, and that means that we then have a space to film battle reports in the same setup. You see what I mean? Can you give a link to the lights? I can. X3NN3XY. Thanks again for the quick tutorial last time. Followed your tips and my test model came out way better than any of its predecessors. Ah, fantastic. Excellent. Love to hear that. I'm glad I could help. Castlevania new episodes are coming. They are indeed. They're coming tomorrow. You have a lot to work with, Mr. the Goblin. Mr. Goblin? That's because I say he paints like a goblin in a crack in the wall. That is what I do. Take down your camera and give studio tour. Because the camera's all wired in, it's really hard for me to do that. I can get the newer panel lights. It is the... It should say it on the back, actually. The light that I have, they come in a pack of 2 usually, is a NL288A arc. Yeah, 288A arc. It is basically this one. Here it is on Amazon. I know, link's too long. Yeah, the N. I'll put it here. It is the Niwa NL288 arc. If you look that up, you'll find it. Are you going to have some form of fun backdrop in a new place? Yes, that's what I want to do. I want to have a backdrop where you can just see all of the painted miniatures, basically. Do you use other lights to paint with, or do you find the studio lights enough? These are enough for this little spot. It's literally, like I said, these are big. They're big lights. I've got a spare one. Hang on, I'll show you. Where is it? Ah. This is it. So I have one of these up here. And I have another one up there. And the distance between them is 33.5 inches. Price is good too. Yeah, no, they are very good. And they're desk mounted. I think they still come with desk mounts. So you screw it in. Like it's a clamp on the desk, and then it'll go. Do you have an overhead bar they all connect to? No, but that's what we're going to move to. So I don't know if you can see this in the background. You see this thing here. So that doesn't fit here because the ceiling's too low. But what I want to do is I want to put all of the I want to mount basically 4 of these over a large table that can have battle reports as well. I'm with Grant. We need more Contrast Plus tutorials on the rest of the Heresy era Primarchs. There is a complete lack of any good painting guides for most of them on YouTube. I appreciate that, Rabid Squirrel. I see WD-40. Yeah, I had to fix my chair. It dried out over the summer, so it had this really annoying squeak just like there. It was going as I was doing things. And it was really irritating, so I used some WD-40 to fix it. The answer to question about the Primarchs, I would love to do all of the Primarchs. That is, you know, that's the long and short of it. The problem with Primarchs is they're really expensive, and I can't afford to buy them, basically. Like the stream, peeps, if you haven't already. Let's get to 150. Now, that'd be amazing, Adam. Also, hello again, mate. So yeah, it's just a case of like, so Loyalist Legions, Astartes, filters. What haven't we done? Oh yeah, you can't do it by. You used to be able to just select character series, and it would just be like, yeah, cool. Price descending. That'll do us quickly. So we haven't done Guilliman, Vulcan, Ferrus Manus, Corvus Corax, Leman Russ. But we have done the Lion, Sanguinius, Dawn, and Jagatai Khan. I'm pretty certain. Yeah. But that's 8, 16, 24... 330... 420... I think that's it for Loyalist Primus, isn't it? And then for Horus Heresy, Traitor Space Marine Legions, and filter, sort by price descending. We haven't done Alfarius, Perturabo, Conrad, Mortarion, but I do have Mortarion, Lorgar, Fulgrim, and Angron. So that's 7 of them. So 8, 16, 24, 32. And then, yeah, 420. So £840 for the Primarch fund. Thank you very much, Adam. That's very kind. So if somebody wants to give me £800 to buy all of the Primarchs, I'll do it. Is it just naive of me to think that the Primarch videos could pay for the Primarchs? That is a fair question, Nave. Let me tell you. I'll tell you. Fulgrim Transfigured. Fulgrim Transfigured had 12,800 views. And it has now slowed down. So it's now not a dead video, but it's had 131 views in the last 48 hours. So that's now going to be something that gets about 60 views a day. Maybe. Something like that. That video has made £42. And Fulgrim Transfigured costs £182 to buy. So it hasn't paid for itself yet. If I look for Magnus the Red, that was a Primarch video. Magnus the Red, as a video, has had 15,588 views since it was published, and it was published in when was it published? Analytics, reach, engagement. I want a date, really. Magnus the Red is a 2-year-old video, nearly. And that's made £25. So that's got quite a way to go. I'd rather fund Rotigus. We have a Rotigus. We need to fund the Primarch fund then. Oh, no. I was talking about the Horus Heresy Magnus, Adam. Not the 40k Magnus. The Horus Heresy Magnus. The 40k Magnus video was worse. That was published on the 16th of February 2023. Oh no, that's had a lot more views now, actually. That's because I keep complaining about it. That's had 36,000 views. We need to fund the Primarch fund. So what you're saying is, you want me to do this. Oh, I need to add it all up exactly. Hang on. Oh, you're going to make me do hard maths. Okay, hang on. So what have we got? Guaranteed as well. It'll all... We'll get a new one as soon as I do one. So, Alfarius, he is £99 for some reason. Perturabo, he's 94. We've done Horus Ascended. We've done Magnus the Red. Conrad, he's 83. Mortarion we have, so we don't need to put that in. Horus we've done. Lorgar, 83. Fulgrim, the old one, 83. And Angron, 83. And then we'll go filters. We go back. Horus Heresy, Loyalist Space Marines. Filters, sort by price descending. View results. Oh, the Fellblade is still in. They still sell the Fellblade. Interesting. Lehman Russ, so plus 94. plus 94 plus... Am I putting the Wolfkin of Russ in there? I feel like you probably should. To go with Lehman Russ. Plus Gilliman. Plus Vulcan. Plus Ferris. My maths was way off. It's actually that exactly. It's 1051 to be precise. There's Eroticus. Don't go giving me hope. Yeah, so Adam very kindly gave me a great unclean one for Christmas. So I have the ability to build and paint Eroticus, as well as Kairos Fate Weaver. I already have as well. So maybe ask GW really nicely for all the Primarchs. I could try. They do often say no, though. They're old models, that's the problem. If you just go, can I have these models because I want to paint them? They go, no. Let it never be said that I do not think of the channel when gifting. Adam, you care more about the channel than I do sometimes. Sometimes Adam and I will have conversations where he'll be like, have you seen this comment? I'm just like, no. Would you paint them for someone, or would you want to keep them after? That's a difficult question. I really love painting models because I like to keep them. I'm saying no to commission work, basically. Because commission work creates a pressure that that is really difficult to handle. It's really difficult to deal with, basically. Because, as you know, as mentioned, you think that a video will do well and it doesn't. Like I said, so last night I was tracking the analytics of the Death Corps of Krieg. The Death Corps of Krieg infantry models, the basic infantry that have been out for years, painted in a brown scheme, was outperforming Fulgrim Transfigured's video until about 2 o'clock in the morning last night. So that's a really good video. And Fulgrim Transfigured was a surprisingly good video. But if you do like Contrast Plus how to paint Ferrus Manus, it might go somewhere, it also might not, is the thing. And so I'm not going to do a Ferrus Manus video over and above Death Corps of Krieg. I'm just not. And it's very rare that you get like these weeks off, as it were, because like I don't have anything new from Games Workshop for next weekend, so that's why I'm able to paint stuff like this. But I do have stuff for the next 4 weeks that I have to do. As you don't paint in sub-assembly, do you ever find some places are just unreachable? No. I've never found a place to be unreachable if I can see it. If I can't see it, then it's not unreachable. I've painted over 1k points of Nurgle demons with exclusively your videos. I've been patiently waiting for Rotigus and Horticulus for about a year. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I will try. So here's my thinking at the moment, guys. Age of Sigmar, I think, is about to go through what 40k kind of just went through the last year or so, and I think it's going to be a little bit more of a cleanup type thing. So I think what you can expect to see is less kind of big range updates and new models for AOS this year. And what I suspect you'll see is things like when Soulblight Gravelords, for example, get announced, they'll say the new models for Soulblight Gravelords are manifestations and a terrain piece. I think that's likely that we'll see that for a lot of things this year. If that's the case, it means that at least on AOS weeks, we'll have a little bit more time, because it doesn't take that long to paint a set of manifestations, and it doesn't take that long to paint terrain. You can do them generally both each in about a day. It's different to like painting like a large box of infantry, for example. So it might be that when Battletome Maggotkin of Nurgle gets announced, they'd be like, yep, Nurgle are getting their own... Maggotkin of Nurgle are getting their own manifestations. That's the new models this year. And so with Maggotkin of Nurgle, I'll go, cool, I will paint Rotigus to go with it. But then also, similarly, we don't know what the 40k codexes are going to do. In that the 40k codexes might do what AOS did, and it might chuck the demons into them. So Codex World Eaters might have Khorne demons in it. And if that's the case, don't expect to see a bunch of new models for those factions. You'll see one new model for those factions, plus all the demons are now part of that faction. Do you see what I mean? So it could be. We don't know what whatever the first one is will tell us. But if say Codex Death Guard is the first one that comes out, and it comes with one new Death Guard model and all the Nurgle demons, that's what you're getting basically for World Eaters and Thousand Suns. Would be what I would suggest is probably going to happen. Beasts of Chaos this year. For Old World, certainly. Where's your head at with Old World right now? I've never been more hyped for something and then let down by what then happened. I'm kind of just waiting to see what happens with High Elves and Wood Elves. That's kind of what I'm waiting for. And like, I might buy a box of High Elves and see if I want to paint it, but like, it's all old models. That's the problem. So much of it is old models, and then you get like a new character, and it's like, yeah, okay, I mean, the new characters are nice and all, but then so many of the new ones are then Forge World, and Forge World is a pain to work with, so it's like, the new stuff is resin, and I don't want to paint a resin. I don't want to build the resin. That's the main blocker for me. And so it's just kind of like, I think maybe my excitement for Old World will peak again when there is a second edition, once they've proved that it's a financial success. Because I suspect what will happen is once you get a second edition or a second wave, once all the factions are out, you will start seeing things like, in the case of Bretonnia, for example, new Pegasus Knights. That's where I think it will. That's where I think it will become exciting. Is will you get the new Empire characters up for pre-order this Saturday? No, I probably won't. Because I don't know when I would do them. Is the thing. So that it might be later on that I do it if I get into it. But right now I'm like, You mentioned you would do some more Express colour vids. Is there a way to find them on your channel? I only did one, which was with the ghouls, because I haven't had the opportunity to do any more. With the Crypt Guard, sorry. I want to do some more, but I've only done the Crypt Guard one. You excited for the new Gloom Spite? Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Git Mob. Yeah, Git Mob. The Git Mob looked fun. It looks like a fun set of miniatures, particularly the Doom Diver catapult and stuff like that. I'll be interested to see if there's anything more that we haven't seen. We might find out if there's something more that we haven't seen on Thursday. I would like to do a Git Mob army. Again, time permitting and also points dependent. You never know. It might be that a Git Mob army is really expensive in points, and so therefore it's pretty easy to do. You know, it might be that, you know, the army box comes out and that's actually like 800-900 points. So it's like, okay, cool. We'll get another few bits and bobs to put that together. What made you change the green on the Cadians? I just think it looked better. And also the Krieg, basically. So, like, I painted... It really came together when I painted this. I just looked at that and I was like, I like that green a lot. So then I was like, hey, does it work on Cadians? Oh yeah, it does. So like, we can do, for example, I think if you'll see what I mean, right, is, I think this, I think this just looks nicer. Looks so good together. Yeah, there you go, James. That's what I mean. And like, here's an unfinished ordnance. I need to highlight it still, but like, see what I mean? I do remember the original Cadian video thinking the green was a bit vibrant, but thought that might just be the video. Well, there you go. That is a perfectly legitimate thing, and the green was very vibrant. And it's not that it was bad by any stretch of the imagination. It's just, I think this just flat looks better. As it were. Look, I mean, let's just throw more Cadians in. You can throw in a, like that. Could throw even more in. Put another las cannon in. Put one over here, why not? And then we'll double up these. We'll have a Krieg version of this. I don't know why it's freaking out. Let's just put my hand. There we go. I just think it just looks really nice as a set of miniatures. We can even just throw him in there. Like that. This video might come out tomorrow, just FYI. Will you do a new Cadian video? Yeah, so I've been filming all of this, the process of which I've been changing things up. So it's basically a case of take the old video and these are the changes now in order to correct it. But there's also elements of this is what it looks like when it's done from scratch, basically. So there is a video that's coming that explains how I've done this, as it were. It'll make sense when you see it. It's coming. It's coming. So yeah. Are you going to match the base rims? Yeah, I might do. I might change the base rims to black. I haven't decided yet. Or I could change the Krieg ones to Steel Legion Drab. It's easier, though, to change the Steel Legion Drab to black. Basically. So that's the plan, at least. You should add Carband. Can you do Carbander when doing more Heresy Primarchs as well? How much is Carbander? Carbander. So, yeah. To do all of those big Horus Heresy kits, so all the remaining Primarchs that I haven't done, plus Carbander, that will cost, in models alone, £1,290.50. To be precise. Which is a lot of cake that I don't have. But who knows what the future holds, is what I will say. I'm never gonna say no. I will, like I said, I've got Mortarion to do. So I will get Mortarion done at some point. But it took me a year to do Fulgrim, so you might have to wait until next Christmas when I have a lot of time to be able to do such a thing. It is a possibility. You are the trousered version, the non-blonde trousered version. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Just getting the guardsmen out of the way, basically. So yeah, loads of stuff. Rabbit Squirrel, that's very kind of you. Thank you so much for the $49.99. Well, $50. Euroseries Contrast Forge World or Contrast GW's most expensive models. That's very kind of you, Rabbit Squirrel. I shall pop yours and Adam's aside, and we'll see if we can. Is the big gun on 130mm? It is. Yeah, the artillery team, that's what this is, the new one for the Krieg, that is a 130mm round base. It's significantly bigger than a Field Ordnance gun. I need to get 2 more of these. But that's the reason why I didn't buy another army set, was because all I wanted from the army set was 1 of these and a set of engineers. I didn't need another Dreer, and I didn't need 10 more Death Riders, and I didn't need another Codex, that's for sure. So, rather than buy another one, I was like, nope, nope, I will not buy another one. I shall wait, and then I will buy an artillery team and a set of engineers so that I can have a unit of 10. But there's one thing, do rules let it move at all? Yes, it can move. It has a 3-inch move, I believe. The artillery team, where are you? Artillery team. Yep, has a 3-inch move. It counts as infantry, so your officers can also order it to move, move, move. Which will give it an additional 2 inches to its movement, so it can move 5 inches if it's ordered to move, move, move. And you can advance it. So yeah, I mean that's it. Is I want another. Well, I do want 2 more. But one thing that's really cool about the artillery team is well, it's this basically, is that the gun isn't glued in, so you can just lever it out with a bit of persuasion. I'm not going to do it because I've fully painted it now. So, because there's 4 options for this. There's the big field gun, which is one I was always going to do. There's the mortar, there's the quad launcher, and there's the missile rack. You can build all of them. Don't glue this in. You could put a magnet in it if you wanted to, but it doesn't need it because it's a peg that goes in basically. This can just slot in and out, and you can put the mortar in. Or you can just remove the whole assembly and put the quad launcher in, or remove that whole assembly and put the missile thing in. So it's very easy to do all variants of this thing. It's not like a one and done, you're done thing. So, like, it's depending on price, it is quite cost effective if you want to change it. There you go. Yeah. Bit of hobby advice for you. I'm assuming doing Kairos is the same situation as Rotigus. Yeah, kind of. If I get time, I want to do these things. But as I'm sure you guys can imagine, I have a list as long as my arm of things to do. And I am but one man. So the best thing you can do is subscribe to the channel. Tell all of your mates to subscribe to the channel and to watch the videos. And then also, if you wish to, subscribing, liking, and commenting and all that kind of stuff really helps on videos. It really does. Especially on a new one, the day it comes out. Just absolutely sends it to the moon. But do that, and it means eventually we'll maybe be able to make enough money on the channel that I can hire someone to take some pressure off me on some of the other stuff I have to do as a YouTuberist. And then I can do things like tell that person, hey, build me Kairos Fate Weaver, whilst I do this, because we need to do that for a video. Because it's if I've got something to paint, like a Death Corps of Krieg army set, building Kairos is going to take a couple of hours. I've then got to prime it. I've then got to paint it. So it's basically a case of it's all time. The thing I never have enough of is time to do everything. How long is your arm? Hang on. Like 29 inches? Yeah, something like that. I have short little arms and tiny little hands. Covered in paint hands. I do spread the word, and my local GW store asked if I was the reason they can't keep grey sear in stock. It might be. If someone else edited the video / built the models, would you paint every workday, or would that be too tiring? Yeah, kind of. I mean, so essentially, if somebody took away editing, I would just be doing filming and painting. Which on a day like, so tomorrow, as an example, tomorrow I will wake up, I will edit tomorrow's video, and that'll take me a couple of hours to do, like 2 hours, depending on the video. So some videos take a lot less time, and some videos take a long time, because it might be that, you know, something like Callus and Toll, where there's over 130 steps in painting something like that, or 130 clips of something that I've taken because of the way I filmed it. That video takes a while to put together. Whereas a Death Corps of Krieg, where there's 19 clips in total, that takes about 45 minutes to an hour. And then there's the shooting of B-roll, photography, graphic creation, and then just cutting the whole thing together. So it takes me about an hour and a half, 2 hours if I concentrate as well, because that's the other part of it as well, is my concentration sometimes is lacking because of my neurospiciness. Hey, Castor Gant. Castor, thank you very much for becoming a member. That is very kind of you. But then, of course, there is stuff where I do build new releases and stuff because we create sprue reviews. And sprue review takes a whole day to make, basically. Like, building a... what I don't do is I don't, like, for example, if Games Workshop sends me a box of warp spiders and I sprue review it, we look at the whole sprue and then I build them and then I average out how long it takes to get the number of how many minutes and seconds it takes to build one. So rather than build one and paint that, if I just built one, it would be done in 15 minutes or 12 minutes depending on the model. But I build the whole unit, so if it takes me 14 minutes to put together one Kriegsman, it takes me 140 minutes to do 10, which is 2 hours and 20 minutes. You see? And then if Games Workshop sends you 3 boxes of 10 men that consist of 15 minute builds, that is, you know, 2.5, 5, 7.5 hours to build 30 minutes. But there you go. Anyway, guys, I've just noticed the time. It is 20 to 11. We've gone 10 minutes over what we normally do. I'm just having fun talking to you guys, because you guys are legends, and I love you all very much. You are the best audience in the world. But I simply must conclude things there. And go and well, I've got a Field Ordnance Battery to finish, basically. But tomorrow we will be back with a painting video at 7:30 p.m. GMT. It might be Lord Marshal Dreer. It might be something else, because we are going to do a stream at 4 o'clock in the morning for the Las Vegas Open preview as well. So it's going to be 2 content day from me tomorrow. And then we might do another video on Friday night as well. So there'll be another Krieg video for all of you. And then there will be a video on Saturday. And then we will be live again next Monday. We shall see. There's loads of content coming at you all the time, because I just want you to have the best time. You guys are the best. I love you very much. And I will see you all very soon in the next one. Keep being the best audience in the world, because that's exactly what you are. And I love you very much. Thank you for everything. Seriously. But yeah, I will see you all very soon in the next one. Here is the hand of farewell. And I shall wave it at you. Goodbye, everyone. Love you. Love you, chat. Bye.